So module 4, we are going to start the last module now. Last module is basically about when you're starting a new venture, what are the things to be taken into account? Okay, like arranging finance and other supports which are available. So here you can see, yes, starting a new venture and institutional support. Venture means new company, new enterprise. Institutional support means from where all can an entrepreneur get the support, be it in terms of various resources like financial resources, like loans or any other financial support, subsidies and all, or for licensing, whom to approach, then training and development if required, all those different types of support. So a nation's wealth is not coming from just like anything. It is coming from the vision and hard work of the entrepreneurs. So before starting any business, it is very important to understand that whether the resources are available to that entrepreneur or not. To take a note of the resources available to the entrepreneur required for that particular venture. So because any project, we have already seen any project we start, there are all risk involved in that. Any project to be undertaken is affected by various risk factors as well. So the resources should be plentifully and easily accessible for an entrepreneur. So like resource can be anything. Resource can be raw materials, the equipments, the financial resources, or the funds available for carrying out this activity. So before starting, it is very much important to ensure that the resources are available and the resources are allocated properly. Only when the resources are available and when it is optimally utilized, the organization can ensure of maximum productivity, profitability, and more performance by the employees. Now here you can see steps in starting a new venture. Starting a new venture means it's not an easy task. There are so many associated things which are supposed to be noted. Starting a new venture is related to business promotion or business unit promotion, which is undertaken by an entrepreneur. Promotion means what? Promotion means trying to promote the business, trying to give life to the idea which the entrepreneur is having in his or her mind. So this is a very responsible activity. And as we know, as we have seen in the earlier lectures and all, earlier modules and all, this particular decision of starting a new venture requires sound decision, or we can say it requires sound decision backed up by all the resources. It requires sound judgment and accurate decision making at various stages. And in different stages, we can see that there are high chances that the entrepreneur may give up, and literally the entrepreneur may be so much stressed that he doesn't want to move ahead. But the thing is that they may not be aware about the resources or the support which are available to them from the environment. So, and one more thing is that any wrong decision taken by the entrepreneur may totally upset the entire business. So as we have already seen, a promoter or an entrepreneur will be having an idea, and they will be conducting various studies, feasibility study, environmental scanning, SWOT analysis and all before starting the business. And after that, they will be taking all the steps required for starting the business enterprise. Like it is basically converting the idea into reality. And converting that idea into reality is the most achievable dream, or we can say one of the most important requirement of an entrepreneur's life. So business can come into existence only if the promoter is actively showing interest. Now here you can see some of the steps in starting a new venture. First of all, discovering the business opportunity. We have seen already how an idea is generated, ideation or idea generation, then various sources of idea. So here again, the first important step is, or the task is, conception of the business activity, idea required for this. And the idea should be in such a way that it can harness all the resources required for that. Then size of the business firm. the decision about size in the sense, is it a small scale, medium scale, large scale? These scale of operations of the proposed business unit and all should be taken into consideration. And the size of the business firm is influenced by various factors, like we can see financial part, technical part, marketing aspects, near to the market, everything. So many factors are there. Size should be optimum. That means initially they may find it difficult, but adopt a size which is convenient considering various factors. Then decide the nature of the project. Nature of the project means type of product which they would intend to produce, preparing the business plan, finding out the location, conducting feasibility study. All these things comes under nature of the project. Then prepare business constitution. Constitution here means whether it is a sole proprietorship or a partnership or company or cooperatives, whatever is the constitution, how they are going to constitute the business, that is to be decided. And once it is ready, all the necessary formalities to be getting the provisional registration should be completed. Now, what is the registration? Registration of business. It is provided by the Industries Directorate, which is under state government for small and ancillary units. And when it comes to large scale, again, the permissions will change. After that, there is clearance, obtaining clearance. Clearances are obtained, or it should be like depending on the type of industry which they are intending to start. Trade licenses are required, pollution control board clearances are required. When we discussed about EIA, in environmental management, we had seen environmental impact assessment report is required, sales tax registration, so many licenses are to be required. Then building plan, the location, then the building plan, all these things are to be required. Then decision on location, like this is very important when you're selecting the location. Proper location not only for the production purpose, but also for distribution to the customers. So for that we should say that it should be accessible. It should be located as a place which is accessible. Like many things are to be noted over here. The law and order situation in that area, labor relations, whether cheap laborers will be available or not, and the kind of labor relations over there, infrastructure facilities, incentives which will be provided by the government, proximity to source of raw material. Otherwise, the raw material supply will be somewhere else and the company will be located somewhere else. It will all create unwanted cost. Then proximity means nearness, nazdeek rehna. Proximity to the raw materials, proximity to the market, workforce availability, and other things which are available nearby, like various health centers, social infrastructure also, which will help in running the business successfully. Then machinery, equipment, layout. Machines and equipments are required for the smooth functioning production activities, and it should be as per the latest technology. Obsolete machines or outdated machines will not be of any use. Similarly, funds available also should be taken into account. If it is to be imported from a foreign country, accordingly, the decision should be taken. Layout means the plan of that building, the structure of that building. Then financial planning, very important. Finance is the lifeblood of any business. You're having raw materials, you're having everything, but if the money required, the funds required to start the business is not there, then there is no use. So it is a basic requirement of a business enterprise. So adequate capital is to be arranged before itself for essential starting of an enterprise and also for the smooth functioning. So for this, what is to be done? They should have an appropriate financial planning. Then physical facilities. Physical facilities, like with respect to the utilities available, like arrangement of water, arrangement of power, then waste management, then such type of things are coming under physical facilities. So in this stage also, they have to be very much careful, and the location should be selected in such a way that all these facilities are easily available. Then tax planning. Tax planning is also required from the side of the entrepreneur to minimize the tax liability. It can be done, but here the wise planning should be there from the entrepreneur's side. It is to be taken into account by consulting a proper tax consultant, and they can go for find out such locations which are giving so many tax concessions. Like we can say tax concessions are provided by government for rural areas and industrially backward areas and all. So with the help of suitable tax planning, they can try to minimize the tax liability. Then organizational structure. Now in the company, how it is going to work out. Organizational structure means what would be the structure? Like we know the organizational structure, there are normally 3 levels: top level management, middle level management, and lower level management. Now suitable internal organization should be there for the conduct of business in a proper way. Without this, this may result in unwanted confusion and duplication of work, repetition of work, and all. So while deciding the organizational structure which is internal to the company, they should see that departments are formed, the line of authority is given, delegation of authority is done, there is division of work, there is coordination among various departments as well as like various units. Then comes launching the enterprise. At this stage now, almost all the activities are completed, like almost all the major portion of the promotional work is done. They have already taken major decisions now. Now next is just they have to just launch the project. Now they are ready to set up the business enterprise. So they have to now face the problems after setting it. Now here again, they have to see that all the things have come in order for them, like land has been acquired, building has been constructed, machinery has been arranged, tools, equipments have, all these things are arranged, and even they may even go for a trial basis. They can do the production activity on a trial basis during this stage. Then periodic review. Review means monitoring the new business venture. Periodic review should be conducted in order to find out the performance of this new project. And these should be compared with the planned targets. And when we're comparing it like this, we will be able to understand whether we are moving in the right direction or not, or whether the company is making progress or not. And if at all any deviations are there, then the causes of these deviations should be identified and adequate measures should be taken in order to correct those deviations. So periodic review is very important to maintain the business smoothly, to run and maintain the business smoothly. So these are the different steps in starting a new venture. Now, another thing which you have to remember is that exemption from compulsory licensing. In the earlier slide, we had seen about licensing, registration and all. You don't have to go much into detail over here, but little bit we have to see. So licensing of industries, it is governed by the licensing exemption notification issued by Government of India in July 1991, July 25, 1991, under the Industries Development and Regulation Act of 1951. No industrial licensing is required except in the case of 6 industries. That is mainly for small scale industries. Virtually, there are no major licensing restrictions. But like we can say that no industrial license is required for these companies, small scale companies I'm talking about, okay, except for some of the 6 product groups that we will see later. But these 6 industries are also mainly in large sector industries. So many cases we can see that if it's a very small scale unit with less than 50 or 100 workers and all, with or without power usage and all, then it would not require a license from the Government of India. So depending on these licensing exemptions and all, an entrepreneur can set up a small scale industrial unit anywhere in the country without any restriction. Of course, but other restrictions can be there, like with respect to location, land use, then whether it is in the coastal area, those restrictions will be there. But other than that, there are no major restrictions except for 6 different types of industries. That too are mainly in large sector. So it is not so difficult for getting licensing, or majorly we can see that it does not require only. So this type of bureaucratic requirements are very much reduced nowadays. Then at the same time, there are some other clearances required as well. Like we can say, for example, say under sales tax, it should be registered. Central Excise Tax Act also it should be registered. Partnership deed, it should be registered if it is like that. So such type of regular registrations are required. Then another important one is environmental and pollution related clearness. So this is again, it is there, but it has been quite simplified in the case of small scale industry. So it's these industries which I have mentioned over here, these industries should get these licenses. Other than that, on all other small scale industries, even if they are just merely filing an application and they are obtaining an acknowledgement for which they have to, which they are starting the business in this particular category, then that is sufficient. But for these industries like fertilizers, sugar, cement, fermentation, distillery, aluminium, petrochemicals, thermal power, oil refinery, iron and steel, pulp, paper, dye and dye intermediaries, basic drugs, pharmaceuticals, sulfuric acid, in these and many more, few more are there. In all these cases, the environment and pollution related clearance is compulsory. Other than that, most of the units can work smoothly without major interference by the government. So this is about the initial part of starting a new venture and how to go for the institutional support.